Hello, everybody. Welcome. So glad you're here as we will be talking about our 11-day reset that's coming up on Monday, and specifically biohacking and how we'll utilize those pillars to really just turn it up another notch. So, what is biohacking? Biohacking is, by definition, the act of improving performance, health, and well being through strategic interventions to increase overall health and support longevity. So tonight, talking about biohacking, as you can see on this screen, these are different areas that we'll be covering. And to do that, I'm going to turn it over to my bestie for the restie. She has 7 degrees. I could take up all our time going through all that, but I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to give us a lowdown. And this is Heather.
Thank you so much. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Like I said at the beginning, go ahead. If you haven't found that chat box, go ahead and find that because I'm going to ask you some questions as we go throughout. But I'm so excited to be really exploring this new age, what we're all hearing about different kind of biohacking strategies, things like that. But it seems to be the hype word. And so I've been doing this for a while and studied many areas of biohacking for quite some time now. And I love that I've had some solutions for some time, and it's just now getting to where we're relating what we've been doing with some hype words, and then, what other techniques of biohacking can we really delve into to serve our bodies? And then why do we need it? Why is it so much of a hype right now? So there are definitely some misconceptions and some things floating around, like what could be going on. So if you're coming here and you really are here to just learn about biohacking, to get a better education around it, you're definitely going to do that. If you're here because you're like me and it's like my body just feels broken, I'm not sure, I'm trying to do all these things and nothing seems to work, and I feel like I know all the solutions to being healthy and really just can't figure it out. So if you're like me and just really want the dots connected between, that there's some things that are not right and are not how we used to be brought up and are very, very different, but then bridging the gap between what's the right information and what's the wrong. I hope that by the end of this, you'll really get a sense of what's logical. So join with me right here. If you're on here and you're very new to any of what we have to present, this is your first time really being introduced to biohacking at all, put a 1 in the chat for me, just so I see who all we have here and where y'all come from. So hopefully y'all can see the chat. There we go. A whole bunch. Oh, this is awesome. So I love that so many of you come in and you really don't have an idea because you're going to learn so much. So here we go. I'm going to first play this video for you. So hopefully, can y'all see that?
As we grow older, it's normal to
Can you hear
experience
it?
a gradual decline in health. However, an increasing number of us are noticing a more rapid decline in our well-being, as well as in those around us. Fatigue, lack of focus, poor sleep, poor digestion, and challenges with weight. These issues have become so commonplace that many of us have lost sight of what it truly means to feel vibrant, healthy, and excited about the future. As we delve deeper into the human body, we're discovering that the key to increased health and quality of life lies within our cells. The microscopic world is where we find the building blocks of our physical well-being. Through scientific revelations, we now know that simple lifestyle changes can refine the quality of our cells to increase not only our lifespan, but also the quality of life. We call this longevity. So how is it that although we're living longer than ever, we're also collectively feeling worse than ever? Our fast-paced global world now means that convenience and profit is often prioritized over the well-being of the population, and despite our own personal efforts to achieve optimal health, the world we're living in makes this a challenging task. Environmental concerns, over-manufacturing, and economic and social challenges are all issues we regularly face that put a strain on our well-being. Our approach to health revolves around being proactive and utilizing biohacking strategies to take ownership of our own physiology. Biohacking is the act of improving performance, health, and well-being through strategic intervention to increase overall health and support longevity.
Okay, so the main gist of getting to the root of why biohacking is we realize that We've got the technology and we're living longer and longer, but those that are getting sick are being cut short, but also just not having as much life. Everything's being taken as far as energy, well-being, our bodies are being hacked. And it's coming from things that we can put together, have changed a lot since, if you think about our ancestry and things that happened then. Obviously, we live in a faster paced world. We also are inundated with Western civilization and Western medication, a lot of toxins coming in. Obviously, the environment, if you guys have been under a rock and you have heard about chemtrails and things like that, and some jabs and different kind of toxins that have come in, and we're seeing signs and we're seeing more and more autoimmune disease and things like that we really are having a hard time linking. Where did those things come from? So taking more of a deeper look at that. In the world of biohacking, there's really 3 stages to follow when it comes to figuring out, what is it that you need to get to the other side of it, or what is it? So when you think about the autophagy part, autophagy is really just breaking down old cells and rebuilding them. The way that I like to describe this, and we do this through intermittent fasting, and that's really another hype word that you see all the time, but really the magic is like giving your cells a shower. So I always like to explain, it's like, women that get their closet, they do spring cleaning in their closet, it gets really cluttered. And you're in a rush in the morning and you're trying to find an outfit, and it's so hard to find an outfit or figure out what you need because your closet's just a wreck and you really can't get any more clothes in and you really can't get any clothes out. And so it makes your life a whole lot more chaotic just because you have too much stuff. And I hate to use women there. I guess it could be men too, but I just use us because my closet's the same. But it's like going in and just doing an overhaul and taking all those clothes and ripping it down and bringing it out of your closet. And then guess what happens? You start to get a lot more efficient, right? You know what you have, what you don't have, what you need, what you don't. Laundry seems to lighten up or change a lot. The things that are in your way to spare time in the morning. That's really how you can think of autophagy, is really just giving your cells a shower, giving that a true cleanup, and being more efficient after it. The next phase is the mitochondrial function. And really what's cool is I learned about this so much in school, and I laugh all the time because I remember more of my undergrad nutrition than they say. We had 3 credit hours in medical school of nutrition. I can't find a textbook. I can't find anywhere. I guess it was elective, but we don't even cover that. So I will say in undergraduate school, I remember nutrition, and I remember learning about the Krebs cycle and how many times do you go around to get an ATP? Well, now, if you don't know what ATP, it's just a fancy name for energy and how we get energy. And we think of energy like running energy or energy that we're powered by, but our cells have an energy powerhouse. And this is the mitochondria. And this is really what makes the world go round in our bodies. And we sometimes don't think about that. We don't think about the insides of our body and how important that is to making everything else function well. So when we think about we don't have very much energy, or we have brain fog, or even your immune system, why does our immune system break down so much? It's because really that thing going around the Krebs side, it's not going as fast. It's not as efficient. It affects everything, starting with the thyroid and then going to the hormones. All of that's affected by our immune system. This is all powered by this mitochondria, by this cell powerhouse. So it's really important that we know that there are ways out there to make that go faster and clean up the cells more. So you can do so much more. This is how you see, there are many ways that I'm going to talk about strategies to biohacking, but this is where you see kind of in Hollywood, or you see all around the world, that they're defying age. They're aging backwards. And I believe that's how my insides are. I believe in my 40s, I'm really in my 20s. I know that through and through. I know I'm going to live longer. I know what I'm doing through my body, and there's so much science to back that up. So I'm excited to share what I know, but also that there's more out there. There's so much more that we know this for a fact. And it's really getting to the understanding of what causes this to break down. So this is a big component. So right now we have autophagy, we have mitochondrial function, which is our cell, our powerhouse. And then guys, you guys think of stress reduction sometimes as like being frantic or having anxiety. for me, this was really why I came into isogenics and why I started on really before even isogenics. It was exploring holistic nutrition and what the difference was between that and what I learned in all of my years of school, which is now somewhat termed as Western medicine. It's not everybody, but it's a good bit out there. We don't address this main component enough, this stress element. But the things that I've been doing for so long, I came in wanting this. I knew the power of adaptogens and that there was something from plants that would really help that cortisol. And cortisol is the main driver of what causes inflammation in your body. And if you've never heard that, or go ahead and put me something in the chat. Put me a 2 in the chat if you've ever heard the word inflammation when it's coming to your body and disease and things like that. So if you've heard of inflammation, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to see it. Okay, so we have, a couple of people, great. How many people know that if you can reduce inflammation, you can stop the spread of cancer? How many people know that? Put a 2. Go ahead and put it, actually, give me another number. Give me a 3 in the chat. Give me a 3. Great. So I want you to see how many people already know that. And I want, hopefully some light bulbs are going off here in your mind. Here's the thing that you don't see that much. And there's really a biohack to everything. But if you can figure out that these 3 things, you need to rejuvenate cells, you need to make more energy, to make your cells function better. And then you've got to reduce stress. Stress is such a big component because stress is the leading factor for almost everything, every kind of disease and every kind of bit of inflammation that we have going on in our bodies. And this is what causes the fire to spread. And not only that, but this is also what can slow you down from fat loss. So I know that in today's world, we all want that quick fix. We all want that magic pill. We want to get from here to there right now, and we want you to just tell us the answer. But if you're here on this call, you're probably like me, and you've explored so much that you know that there's more. It can't just be eat less and move more, right? It can't just be that. Like, that can't be why we have body fat or why we can't put on muscle or why we can't just be awake and alive at 6 p.m. Why can't our bodies, or why can't we sleep well? There's got to be more answers to that. And that's where you need to know that, yes, times have shifted, but we first have to realize where we're at. You have to realize what's happened in the world and what the leading cause of health problems are and why we do what we do. When we're talking about getting healthy for a lifestyle, when we're really plugging into you, we'd love to give you the quick fix. And in fact, we have a little bit of that. What I feel is like the quickest fix, because I see it both. As a nutrition coach, I see people come in using a system that works simply, and I see people eating whole foods and going off of a meal plan. And I can tell you, I've found solutions that let it go faster, but no matter what, you need to know that the things that you're putting in your body are causing your body to be where it is. And your doctor might have told you that, you have cancer. So you immediately go into a fear tactic. What does that cause? Let's go back a slide. Stress. What does stress do? It adds inflammation. What does inflammation do? It kills the powerhouse of the cell. And so without being able to help those cells reproduce, that's where your body starts to die. And that's just cancer. Let's talk about metabolic syndrome, obesity, completely avoidable. That's not genetic. I had to tell someone else this morning because I caught them saying type 2 diabetes. Well, it's because his dad had it and his dad had it. No, that would mean that it's genetic. Now, it could be epigenetic. I eat what my dad ate and what his dad ate, and we're all eating the same things, or we all are surrounded by the same habits of what we cook with because that's epigenetic. Same if you get secondhand smoke because you're in the house of a smoker. That's not genetic. That's in you because you're in the environment of it. So it's knowing the difference. It's also knowing autoimmune disease, completely avoidable. It's rampant how much it's grown in the last decade. We didn't even hear of some of these diseases that are out there. Why are they here now? We can't just settle for that being enough, that we're just inundated with all these things that come into our world when most of them are not only completely preventable, but curable. Curable, and it's curable without spending a buttload. Now, some, yes, Some are very expensive biohacking mechanisms, but you need to know that they're there and they exist. And so we're going to talk about some others, and mental health, such a big one. I didn't touch on that very much. I love the comments too. Y'all keep going there. But seeing how we got there. So, and here, go ahead, put me a 1 in the chat if I can just be free to say, if I'm safe to say here. Is it okay if I just kind of share a little bit of what I see and my story? If I'm good to do that, y'all just give me some 1 so I make sure I can just speak freely here. Okay. It's no denying that we're in a crisis, a pandemic of our world, and things have changed drastically. Mostly what I have a field on as a nutritionist is the food. We have gone from factory farm, we've gone from generational farming with real plants and animals to this factory farming. We're using seed oils that are highly disruptive to the gut to keep things on the shelf and to make more money. We have plastics, which are just hormone disrupting, endocrine disrupting. Workplace, guys, I don't know about you, but you said I could speak freely. I don't know, 50% taxes when you look at how much longer you're going to be working and what you planned on and how much harder we're working, what the faster pace. I know even for me, if I don't get courses on, marketing and all these things and try to keep up with ChatGPT or whatever, it's never going to happen. But it does cause more stress if you don't know how to handle it. If you don't know what's going on and you don't know what it's doing to your body, and that's not important to you, you're just going to keep going on this cycle that you've been on. And you see all these things are entering our world and we have no idea. Pharmaceuticals, I was taught these were God's gift to humanity. I was indoctrinated to think that. And what you find out is for every medication, you have 10 side effects that before you know it, that has caused the other problem that you're getting another medication from. Your doctor is not a doctor, it's a drug dealer. Not all of them, but most. We have to first be able to say that to get to the other side of it. There are other toxins. Talk about the medical industry. We have more vaccinations today than we have in our entire life. And I'm not talking a few, I'm talking bazillion. You have to look at that. 11% of Americans are getting vaccinated now. There's a reason for that. People are waking up. You understand that we are in a global health crisis. Financial stress. We look at just what the dirtiness of our world, the laziness of humans has done to us. I'm going to mostly focus on the food moving forward, but I'm going to tell you the things when I address autophagy, all of these things. We can live in a scared world where we're constantly frightened by the next virus or the next thing coming, or we can lean on hope. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful in the way that I trust the real science, third-party peer-reviewed backed science. I trust that to know that my body got better, that there is a way out. Although they want you to think that it's just a medication after a medication, there's a way. Okay, I found these and I had to throw them in. So I'm going to spend some time because, guys, if nothing triggers your mind, you got to look at this. First thing we did, okay, going a couple of decades ago, cutting all the fat. Y'all remember the food pyramid? We cut all the fat out, right? Everything was low fat. We were on a low fat. Then we had a hormone epidemic. Everybody was getting hysterectomies. Endometriosis was going crazy, all the things. Okay, so, then we figured out it's actually fat. So let's replace the fat with sugar. It was actually sugar in form of gluten, which is why they said no carb. Let's just make it high fat. And now let's name it keto. And in the name of keto became diabetic. You can look to the right in that picture and see a lot of those things are keto friendly. Okay, so, now it's sugar. Well, let's not do the sugar. Let's sub the sugar. Let's get that glucose down and let's sub animal fat and seed oils. For those things, let's keep our costs down, the money up, but let's make sure we switch that and get people to a food that thinks they're going to cure it. And now you have metabolic dysfunction, massive thyroid issues. Okay, and that's where you think your metabolism is broken. No, you're just not eating the right thing. And then you go to the doctor and they say, you've got obesity. You've got to eat less and move more. Or you don't have this problem. You have an energy problem, or you have an attention problem, or you're depressed and you need this because you have all the signs that your body has slowed down, but you're not slowing down. your mindset's sharp and you keep going. And so we have this thyroid epidemic, not to mention the thyroid epidemic became worse with stress because of inflammation. Okay, and the list is going to go on and on. And here's the thing. We got to realize that the food we're eating is the problem. We're not eating food, we're eating food-like products, and you have no idea because you still are back a couple of decades ago trying to cut calories instead of looking at chemicals over calories. Okay, so here's some common biohacking methods, and here's the hope, guys. The amazing thing about this is there have been tons and tons of research, and all the way to cancer. I'm going to go all the way that far, and I'm going to say that what I'm about to discuss as far as solutions, I'm not going to tell you we can cure, diagnose, treat, but I will say I've seen miraculous things through all of these biohacking methods. So we don't have all of them, and some of them are so expensive that some of you will never get your hands on it. There are some things being practiced with the DNA, the GI therapy, the DNA therapy, the any kind of hormone therapy, cold plunges, even cold plunges. They're trying to make cheaper, but the old school cold plunges, there's been science on that forever. Sauna is so expensive, but extremely healing, extremely beneficial. All the science there. Here's some things that we know that we have. Intermittent fasting, we're going to talk about that. We have access to talk about breath work, and we're going to talk about that with meditation. Talk about caffeine and its effects. When to use it. When is it a positive and when is it hormone disrupting? You see some other things on here. Our nootropics, we brought nootropics and adaptogens back 22 years ago. Meditation, that's something that you guys think are just for, tree huggers, but there's really a thing to it because stress reduction. Red light therapy is something that can be a little costly. I do see a lot of people trying to make like red lights with their face and things. There are some things out there that they try to cheat, but the real red light therapy, that definitely works. Raw grass-fed dairy, guys, to get our hands on this or to have access to understand why you want raw and grass-fed and why it's so different than what they're putting out. Like meat's bad, this is bad. No, doing meat in a factory is bad. You need to know that real meat going from a factory, that matters. Grass-fed matters. The fact that you are feeding without the hormones and antibiotics and all the things that they do to keep your chickens really big, really, really big. You want to keep that in. So that's also something. Sleep, nutritional, I told you that's going to be the main thing. Quality sourcing. Guys, when I say count chemicals over ingredients, that's so important. The collagen bone broth, we have access to that. The NADs, oh my gosh. I had no idea what I learned would send off so many signals, but guys, NADs are being used at the highest level and the science on it is miraculous. How many new cells you have. So that is literally the key to aging. And this is all aging backwards. This is all what you see. And you want to know how people stay young or feel young. This is what they're seeing. Oh, and look, I was going to say, these are the expensive things that I marked out. I knew I did that. I was wondering why it didn't show up. There we go. Okay, so where do we start? Here's the thing. Isogenics broke through technology a long time ago, 22 years ago. And why does that matter? It matters because a lot of the companies you're getting your information from are coming and going so fast that it becomes just a marketing ploy. But we've been doing this for so long, well before any of these hype words came along. And what I like to always tell people is literally, we took it from the Bible. It's literally going from, if it wasn't of the earth, it's not in our products. And it's literally reverse aging, biohacking, simplicity. Okay, so some things that you're going to find with our products is they are scientifically tested. They are approved backed by science. And it's now 22 years of backed by science. 20 plus peer-reviewed articles. If you're a science nerd like me and you understand research and you've gone through this, you know how much money has to be spent to get it to this point. And then 18 of the human studies, not to mention that these studies go over a year long and study them over the course of 10 years, 20 years. We have data all the way from our beginning on our studies, and we have the most retention of any product out there. You won't find anything that has lasted to prove these kind of results. This one's so awesome because it's a performance study. So we don't talk enough about this, but guys, even if you're in here and you have no interest in bodybuilding or sculpting your body or being, faster or stronger or what, hopefully you all want to be stronger. And that's my point. Putting on muscle is something we're going to focus on so much because it is the biggest hack you could ever give your body, is just eating more protein for the sake of putting and holding on to muscle. Okay. Because it is the way to live longer, also to help your heart performance. And that is the big thing here. Okay. And then these clinical study guys, I'm going to leave this up. Like, take a picture if you're new and you've never seen this, because you won't find, there's nothing. Show me anyone out there that produces these kind of results. And then I had this conversation with someone today. They wrote me and said, they're looking at science on this, and I like to say the research is in the results. I can look down this list of everybody that's on this call, and man, I wish I could pull up your pictures just to show everybody right now. There's some people I see on here, you've gotten off, not to mention miraculous, like major life changes, if you want to put it in the chat. Like, a lot of you have gotten off medication. A lot of you have completely transformed the way that you live life, what you eat, how you eat. And then not to mention your physical transformation. I mean, Michael Proctor on here, 100 pounds. We have so many that have had miraculous changes. So our research is in the results, but we also spend millions and millions of dollars on third-party peer-reviewed. And here's the big thing, over a year long. Guys, all these people that are getting shots for fat loss, and I'm not condemning, if you're here and you are, thank you for being here, because we're going to give you a way to not have major losses from taking a shot like that can be detrimental to your health. That's one of those toxins that are going in without much science to it. So if you're here, please stay. Don't lose me on that. But what I will say is some of those people, they're losing muscle at a drastic rate. And so not to mention they're lowering their metabolic rate. And so when they get down that low, what happens when you lose weight? You lose muscle. When you do it that quick, it's hard to bounce back. Not to mention that your calories are so low, you double the rate at which you gain fat. Our people don't do that here. You don't see them rebounding. You saw that in every fat loss study from The Biggest Loser, that big show that was on there. Have y'all heard of that? The Biggest Loser study? Google Harvard Biggest Loser study and go look at how many people and how much weight they gained after that. It was because they drastically ripped their weight. They did extreme exercise, extreme dieting. That's not sustainable. It's never going to work that way. Okay, so it's not about get healthy fast, get lean fast, or put on muscle fast. It's about doing something that's going to last a lifestyle, and understand that you can hack your body. You can literally take years off your life. I had to put another one in. Y'all, if y'all watch my posts, I'm all about it. I'm all about calling out the BS, because we got to call out the BS. We have to know what's out there. And here's the thing. This was the heart healthy diet. Y'all know that it's still on the boxes. It's still on the boxes. It's the heart healthy diet. And not to mention, like, I hate it. I wish my nanny was on, my grandmother. She still eats Honey Nut Cheerios. I can't get her off of it. I don't know what to do. But guys, this is the worst thing in the world for the heart healthy diet. But this is what they're feeding us. And then look at the Tiger. Oh, they're great. They're marketing to our kids. You've got to know that. And then Beyond Meat, if you think for a second those Kardashians are putting that in their body, you've got to be kidding. They're not putting that in their body. That's fake meat. And that's the thing. I wish I could pour everything I've learned over the past 15 years and then really diving into people on a holistic level these past 5 years, really diving into food. I wish you could see what's happened. And I know that you can't learn that conveniently. So it's really interesting in what you see here. Everyone on here I personally know. For those that live on the lake, Miss Carol here, she doesn't mind me sharing. She's right down the road from me. And then everybody you see here, I mean, these are real people, real results. So you can look at the science. You can look at us versus heart healthy. I put the European results in here. I just did an Australian. So sorry about the measurements. That's converted into grams there. But the big thing is us versus heart healthy doesn't even compare. And you can see that by looking at the physical appearance of these people. It's not, they don't just lose weight. They don't look skinny. And look at the girl in the wheelchair, Rebecca. Guys, she's in a wheelchair, bound to a wheelchair. She's paralyzed. Nutrition only. No exercise, no gym, no movement. Literally just nutrition. It's life-changing. Imagine if she removes that fat off of her gut area, what that's doing to her vital organs. Imagine what it's doing to that mitochondria. That's how she got to the result. So when you think about what we have, just in the micro levels of biohacking, okay, if you use that word, we have nutritional shakes. Now, there are some people that are all about, I can't do a shake. You know, I don't want to just do shakes. That's not what this is about. This is about what you put in, not what you take out. We don't deprive here. We're not dieting. We're putting these things in rather than take it out. It is healing from the inside out. Guys, there's nothing like it. So if you're here and you think you've seen it all, you haven't, because you haven't experienced what happens when you can really get your body clean from the inside. It will shine on the outside. Some of you are wasting your dollars putting creams and taking in powdered collagen and all this stuff to get this beauty, when really you'll not only feel better on the inside, but you're going to light up on the outside. You do glow. We use intermittent fasting, this cleanse for life, ISOFlush for the digestive system. Guys, when you take in more protein, you have to account for what's going to happen in your gut. You have to help that out. You have to help your digestion out a little bit. ISOFlush is just a pure form of magnesium. And there have been huge studies. Your body benefits greatly from magnesium. The snacks to help you get through cleanse day, to get through that intermittent fasting with ease. With ease, because I've done water fast and those are just tough. It's tough to sustain. And if you can't sustain it, consistency is what sets the body free, and you really need that. Ionic Supreme or Adaptogen Elixir are our adaptogens. It is what we use to take away that element of stress that we can't account for. Okay, so whether you're not sleeping enough, or whether you're high stress, you have a job, you don't say no, childhood trauma. Let me say that again, childhood trauma. Yes, I said that. Biohacking, we figured out that's a big thing. Not letting go of your trauma. You're like, oh, she knows about that? Yes. But we have something while you work through it. It's not a means to an end, but it will help you balance your body to lower that inflammation so we can get things working. It works together synergistically as a system. And that's why we put it together. So I know a lot of people ask, do I have to have all this? Well, you tell me, where are you at? Where do you come to this call? How far have things gotten? Have I addressed any of these things going up? So if you're here and you're looking for a place to start, and you haven't ever started and you're not really sure, or you're looking for a reset, this is why we do these 11-day resets. We call them a shred, because here's the thing, you're going to shred off fat. You're not going to lose muscle. You're going to shred fat. Your waist is going to come in. You're going to keep your butt, and you're going to feel amazing. You're going to start sleeping better. You're going to manage your stress better. You're going to feel like, you know, somebody came in and set fireworks inside you, because you're going to feel so good. You're going to definitely build your confidence, because you're going to prove to yourself that your body's actually not broken, and that maybe you were misinformed a little bit misguided. Some of you I know are on this call because you came through me, and I saw your blood work. And I saw where your cholesterol was sky high and your glucose. I saw those. And I can tell you with confidence, I have a way. And that doesn't mean that you have to do it the way that they're telling you. I will say that there is a way to solve it holistically, if you're willing to go there, if you're willing to work through it. Here's some things that we offer within Nurtured Life. Nurtured Life is our coaching group. Okay. We do these pages and we pour in. We not only give access, but like I know Reba here because Reba was asked by Stacy. I didn't know Reba before, but we've had many conversations because you're going to get one of us. Reba even said that she found out about this call through Courtney. That isn't even somebody that signed her. We're a community. We know each other. You know why? Because I know Reba's story. She's been on several of our shreds and she continues to come back because she knows where to come back to. And I bet she learned more on this call than she learned in the last couple of calls, because this is what we offer. And guys, I charge a lot. I charge $450 a month to do my online coaching, to do what I pour into my knowledge. Anything you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer. Not to mention that anyone that's been here, we learn more and more as we go along to be able to help you more and more. Those programs cost a lot of money. The fitness programs I have in our coaching group for everybody to see, guys, those are $100 a session. To get advice on lifting weights, to do those things, to get these kind of speaks where I pour all of my hours of training into that, it's a lot of value. And sometimes we take away just the learning, the education piece, so that you never, ever have to hire a trainer, a nutritionist. You don't have to keep going to your doctor for answers. You actually go to your doctor with the questions to ask. and you know how to lead your own health moving forward. That's important. And that comes with this for free. So usually these things cost a lot. A lot. And we give you those things, all of those things before, all of these, we give you those when you just invest in your nutrition. You go forward because Isagenix pays it forward, and they know we can give you a nutritional system, but if we don't back it with our support, you're just getting a box. You're getting a box of groceries. Now I'll tell you, you could just open that box and put anything in your mouth and you're going to get better. It doesn't matter. And so that's, neither here nor there. And then you do half the box and you'll lose half your ass and it'll still go well. But with the coaching, it's a lot more efficient. And we have the systems to help guide you and really drive it home. We are the best passenger that you can possibly have. And I say that because I have tons of people on this call to attest to that. Okay. Here's what you need to realize. And I say this because here's where you get like, oh, she's about to pitch it. You're dang right. But let me tell you, there's not a person here that's not spending a ridiculous amount on food that is nutritionally depleted and it's sending you in a bad direction. Now, again, what I told you with the food that I'm going to put in, it's what you add. It's what you add to your day. But when you add nutrition that makes you feel amazing and you love it, because you're going to love it. You're going to love the way it tastes. You're going to love how seamless it is. You're going to love how easy it is. When you love it, you don't go through as many drive-thrus. You don't stop through as many gas stations. You're reallocating your funds. You're also a lot smarter at the grocery store. So where you might say healthy is expensive, compared to what? Compared to what? Because after my first month of getting this pack, I'm about to tell you what the packs are. After my first month, I saved over $200. I actually went and looked. I have that on a different slide. I couldn't find it in time for this call, but I will share that with you. And I bet everybody on this call could share that. If you were honest with yourself and you went back in, you'd be able to share that. So you need to think about what you spend in a month's time on food, snacks, drinks. Here are the ways that we get started. So here we have 3 different packs. We have a good, better, and a best, or a basic, a premium, and a value. This basic is the basic of what you need. Okay, that's going to get you all of your shakes. So that is 2 shakes a day, every day for 30 days. Okay, the Cleanse for Life, you're getting 2 bottles or 2 canisters of Cleanse for Life. That's your intermittent fasting. So when we talk about autophagy and when we talk about mitochondrial repair, that's what we're doing there. With that Cleanse for Life and your shakes, along with your important supplements that you just can't go without. Okay, so you have your natural accelerator, which is your fat burner. Whether you need it or not, we are helping that thyroid. Remember, I talked about where your thyroid's gone? We're helping that metabolism. And then IsoFlush to help the gut. We know no matter if your gut is in good shape or not, adding this extra protein, we're just going to help you. Not to mention that magnesium is really going to help you get a deeper sleep with whatever hours that you bring to the table. And that's why you need that. Okay, so that one's $11 a day, $320. The reason that this is not my favorite is because, and these are all 30-day money back guarantee. Our customer service is absolutely amazing. If you have any problems at all, you get complete money back. You don't even have to go through us. You can call customer service. Okay, that one's not my favorite because it doesn't come with the snacks to support you on your cleanse day. And if you'll ask anybody in this call that's done a cleanse day like me, cheers today. I will say those snacks are magical for just making intermittent fasting easier. And then not to mention, if you're busy like me and you really just need some help getting those high protein snacks at first, you're going to need that just help until you learn how to snack. So I recommend you getting a pack that already has those built in, or you're going to be calling FedEx, asking them to speed up and get you your snacks as fast as possible before the second week of the 11-day. Okay. So that one's just $13 a day. So $394. And then the pack that I started with that I recommend everyone start with is this value pack. This value pack gives you the most bang for your buck. And when we talk about reaching you on every single level, you're going to do that with those vitamins and then organic greens. We know that you are nutritionally depleted. The foods that you're eating, everything you're doing. Not to mention, are you going to get you're going to get everything that you got in the basic pack plus the premium pack. So all the snacks, but we're adding in vitamins, NADs. This is the key to health, the key to reversing back. Okay, this is recommended if you're here and you're ahead of the age of 27. If you're 27 and beyond, this is where you start to benefit from taking the NADs and getting that mitochondria function back and reversing the clock. So that comes with that. It comes with a daily serving of organic greens, and we'll use that for a bedtime belly buster. getting more protein in. We'll also use it daily just to help with the water. All of the snacks, the other thing that it comes with is adaptogen energy. So as we talk about caffeine and different ways to get that energy, we have keys there that will not only help you through cleanse day, but just in your regular days. And those are adaptogens to help you focus and jerk up your energy without giving you bolts of unhealthy caffeine. Okay. All right. So we're at the end, Courtney, as you get this ready. I will say with these packs, if you will just get back to the person that invited you to the call and let them know, I either want the good pack, I want the better pack, or I want the best pack. Okay. And that's what I want to start with. Let me say this about the 3 packs. This is the way that you're going to start for your first 30 days. Okay. You get everything all at once. And that way you not only get everything inside of your body, you jack your body up, you get some good results. You also help completely detox your body. So we're doing an intense way to get everything in. We're going to pack this into 11 days. You're going to have plenty of leftover. We get a month because you're not going to stop at 11 days. You're going to feel amazing. And we're getting you the most bang for your buck. But within these 11 days, we're going to maximize how you feel. And then from there, we spend about $4 to $6 a day. So anywhere from $180 to $250 a month to just continue this and keep starting. That varies, but you won't end up spending, you won't get these big packs every time. This is just going to be your first month. And as you see the comments, guys, like, yes, we feel better than we ever have. There's no question. I went through this. I'm telling you, this is the best way to get straight to those biohacking tools. If you're on here and you've been doing it for a while, go back and restart. Commit to restarting on this 11-day. So it's good for a reset. It's good for a fresh start. All right. So this is my favorite that we have released recently. Guys, I'm all about drinking things that help my hydration. I love our collagen. This goes right in line with our beauty line. But then the other reason why I'm including this is because one of the biggest biohacking tools is to biohack your body when it comes to hydration. Electrolytes. You hear that jazz word, electrolytes, all the time. Electrolytes. And this is electrolytes just using my favorite mineral in the whole world that I talk about all the time on our page is pink Himalayan salt. This is literally such a good tasting watermelon, pink Himalayan salt with nothing else. You can have a couple on cleanse day if you want to, but it also has the hyaluronic acid, which is huge for hydration. So literally we've gotten to where we just drink this and feel good from the inside out. So we want to pick somebody that's on the call randomly for this. And if you will just message me, you can message me on Facebook, or if I didn't sign you up for this call, just message the person that did and give them your address and we'll get this in the mail to you right away. And then did I say this or while you're also getting, I don't think, don't allow. Let's stop the share. I don't think that I put the 11-day shred. We'll start this Monday, the 29th. We've got to, if you're new, we have to order by tomorrow. So make sure we get this done by tomorrow. Okay. Courtney, if you'll unmute here and I'm going to stop the recording.